Proverbs chapter number 23, verse 1 says, when thou sittest to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before thee, and put a knife to thy throat if thou be a man given to appetite. Verse 3 says, be not desirous of dainties, for they are deceitful meat. Verse 4, labor not to be rich, cease from thine own wisdom. Verse 5 says, wilt thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings, they fly away as an eagle toward heaven. Verse 6, eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meats. Verse 7, for as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. Verse 8 says, the morsel which thou hast eaten shalt thou vomit up, and loose thy sweet words. Verse 9, speak not in the ears of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of thy words. Verse number 10, remove not the old landmark, and enter not into the fields of the fatherless. Verse 11 says, for their Redeemer is mighty, he shall plead their cause with thee. And I love verse 12, apply thine heart unto instruction, and thine ears to the words of knowledge. Verse 13, withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die. Verse 14 says, thou shalt beat him with the rod, and shalt deliver his soul from hell. Verse 15, my son, if thine heart be wise, my heart shall rejoice, even mine. Verse 16, yea, my reins shall rejoice when thy lips speak right things. Let thine heart envy, let not thine heart, verse 17, envy sinners. Be thou in the fear of the Lord all the day long. Verse 18, for surely there is an end, and thine expectation shall be cut off. Verse 19, hear thou, my son, and be wise, and guide thine heart in the way. Verse 20, be not among wine bibbers, among riotous eaters of flesh. Verse 21 says, for the drunkard and glutton shall come to poverty, and drowsiness shall clothe a man with rags. Verse 22, hearken unto thy father that begat thee, and despise not thy mother when she is old. Verse 23, buy the truth, and sell it not. Also wisdom and instruction and understanding. Verse 24, the father of the righteous shall greatly rejoice, and he that begetteth a wise child shall have joy of him. Verse 25, thy father and thy mother shall be glad. She that bare thee shall rejoice. My son, give me thine heart. Let thine eyes observe my ways. For a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit. She also, verse 28, lieth in wait as for a prey, and increaseth the transgressors among men. Verse 29, who hath woe? Who hath sorrow? Who hath contentions? Who hath babblings? Who hath wounds without cause? Who hath redness of eyes? Verse 30, they that tarry long at the wine, they that go to seek mixed wine. Verse 31, look not thou upon the wine when it is red, when it giveth its color in the cup, when it moveth itself aright. Verse 32, at the last it biteth like a serpent, and stingeth like an adder. Verse 33, thine eyes shall behold strange women, and thine heart shall utter perverse things. Verse 34, yea, thou shalt be as he that lieth down in the midst of the sea, or as he that lieth upon the top of a mast. And then verse 35, as we conclude, they have stricken me, shalt thou say, and I was not sick. They have beaten me, and I felt it not. When shall I awake? I will seek it yet again. So again, may God add a blessing to the reading the hearing, and most importantly, the application of his word.